Hey friends, today I want to talk about how I got into bed with Netflix. Basically, I want to talk about why having a personalized experience is so important and how I use it to my advantage. Let me first define personalization. It is the process of using customer information to deliver a targeted solution to that customer. It is also sometimes called one-to-one marketing. In my life, personalization has played a very important role. Firstly, it is a source of competitive advantage. I remember when I was in school picking classes, I used to research all of my profs. Or if I had an interview coming up, I would research the entire panel. Basically, I wanted to know and understand as much as I could to make my presence more pleasing or more personal. Secondly, personalization can help with our decision-making process. As an engineer, when I am churning code or doing some research, I always ask myself, who's the product for? If it is going to my senior, I make sure I use the coding language he prefers and I use the tools that are already installed on his computer system. If it's going to a new client, I make sure that it's very simple to use. Thirdly, personalization is very cheap nowadays, particularly in terms of our own time. I remember the old days I used to keep a diary with all of the names of my friends, their birthdays, and a few of the good memories we had. Nowadays, my Google Calendar and social media accounts can do that for me. Therefore, it enhances my ability to give a more personal touch and to have a much more meaningful interaction with the people I meet. If someone like myself can derive so much utility from personalization, I feel like it becomes very important to know and understand if you are being personalized. I feel like the effects of personalization have gotten us in bed with Netflix. Now, let's get back to the interesting part. According to Netflix research, personalization enables them to not only have just one Netflix product, but hundreds and millions of products, which is my first argument that personalization is a source of competitive advantage. Secondly, Netflix research also says that they want members to spend less time looking for something to watch and more time watching something they truly enjoy, which is my second argument that personalization can help with the decision-making process. Lastly, Netflix research says that they use a multitude of machine learning and recommendation algorithms, which is my last argument that because of new technologies, economies of scale, and the ability to track our behavior and habits online, personalization has become really cheap. Therefore, just like myself and Netflix, you can use the power of personalization to your advantage. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoy the personalized experience offered by Netflix or any other tech company. We can all learn from each other. Now, there are problems as well. Firstly, personalization is nice as long as it works. Let me explain. I think it's a tough balance between content creators, stockholders, and people like myself and all of you who consume the content. Netflix in particular and tech in general surely does this a lot. I'm not sure if all of you have noticed, but every now and then when I log into Netflix and go to my homepage, it seems like it's not my homepage. And the search just goes crazy. I even try to unlike, and add content to my list, but sometimes I feel like I'm just scrolling and scrolling. According to Netflix research, search algorithms must ensure that every title has a chance to surface and it doesn't stop there and lead to a play, which is logical, I think. Why would content creators go to Netflix if their content is not pushed out? But for people like myself and all of you, it means that we would have to scroll and wait to get to the content that we want. As a solution for myself, I am now getting the list of all of my titles from IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. The second problem I feel like is a much bigger problem. The second problem is social proof, which is basically defined as the psychological and social phenomena wherein people copy the actions of others in an attempt to undertake behavior in a given situation. I feel like personalization is nice as long as it does not significantly alter our psychological behavior. None of us wants to waste hours watching a crappy season or a bad movie. Therefore, this top 10 in Canada today concept or top 10 in the US does mitigate that risk, but it kind of adds some more peer pressure that, you've kind of got to watch this. I think it's more of aggregation bias, wherein the differences between the individuals are ignored in relation to the trends seen in the total data. But I think it's a chicken and egg situation. Lastly, to get out of bed, not only we need to understand why we are the product, we also need to understand how we are being personalized.